Welcome to my channel Hassanor the Maritime Traveler. When you plan to move to Canada, one of the first things you need to do is choose an immigration program that you qualify for. Mostly people will apply for permanent residence, PR, through the Express Entry Program or a Provincial Nominee Program, PNP. These programs have simple application processes and high intakes, making them popular choices. Note: submitting an Express Entry profile doesn't guarantee an invitation to apply for PR. The selection for these programs is based on your comprehensive ranking system, CRS score. With more people applying for Canadian immigration each year, the competition is becoming more intense, and the minimum qualifying CRS scores are on the rise. In this video, I will share some tips on how to improve your CRS score to increase your chances of qualifying for immigration through Express Entry and PNP programs. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos like this. 1. Get a job offer from a Canadian employer. Having an offer of employment from a Canadian company can get you up to 200 CRS points, making it much easier to qualify for an ITA. While it isn't easy to get a Canadian job offer if you're outside Canada and don't have a work permit, it's not impossible and is definitely an approach worth trying. You can look for job opportunities in Canada through online job portals and virtual job fairs, or tap into the hidden job market by networking with Canadian professionals in your industry through LinkedIn. 2. Get a provincial nomination. If you've already decided where you want to live in Canada, applying for immigration through the Provincial Nominee Program Express Entry stream may help improve your chances. Some provinces also choose eligible applicants from the larger Express Entry pool, so don't forget to enter your preferred provinces and territories when you fill out your Express Entry profile. A provincial nominee certificate is worth 600 CRS points, which is the maximum possible score for additional factors. Given that the CRS cutoff for the PNP is generally in the high 700s, receiving a provincial nomination can compensate for a low CRS score and almost guarantee an ITA. 3. Choose the principal applicant wisely. If you're submitting a joint Express Entry profile as a couple, it's important to carefully decide who the principal applicant should be. Although you can get spouse points for the secondary applicant's education, language skills, and Canadian work experience, most of your score will be based on the primary applicant's information. To maximize your total CRS points, the partner with higher qualifications, more experience, or better language skills should be the principal applicant. You can also use the government's CRS score calculator to compare scores and determine who should be the primary applicant. You cannot change the primary applicant after the profile has been submitted, so be sure to choose wisely. 4. Retake the language test and get a better score. Your score for proficiency in the first official language can vary from 24 to 144 points, depending on how well you perform in each of the 4 test sections. If your initial test score is low, you can always try again after some more preparation and improve your score. There's no limit to how many times you can retake the language test before creating your immigration application. However, bear in mind that language tests cost around $300 CAD per attempt. Your spouse or common law partner can also take a language test if you're applying for immigration jointly. Although the secondary applicant can only get a maximum of 5 CRS points for language skills, it can still be useful if your score is just below the cutoff. 5. Become proficient in a second language. You can also get extra CRS points for being proficient in both English and French. A score of CLB 7 or more in French and CLB 5 or more in English can get you up to 50 extra points. If you already have beginner or intermediate level fluency in the second official language, try to brush up your skills and sit for both language tests. 6. Get all your foreign qualifications assessed. Many applicants only get their highest educational credential assessed for their immigration application. However, you can get more CRS points if you show 2 or more post-secondary credentials, as long as at least one of the programs was 3 years or longer. Most ECA issuing organizations charge by application, not the number of credentials, so you should get all your higher education credentials assessed at the same time to save money and time. If you plan to apply for immigration jointly with a spouse or common law partner, you can also get up to 10 additional CRS points for their foreign education. However, they must submit a separate ECA application. 7. Study in Canada. Many newcomers choose to pursue post-secondary education in Canada on a study permit for a few years before applying for permanent residence. You can get 15 to 30 CRS points for a Canadian education credential, which increases your chances of qualifying for PR later. There's no age limit to apply for a Canadian study permit, and even professionals with several years of work experience abroad can choose this pathway. It's important to note that education in Canada can be quite expensive for international students. 8. Apply for a work permit and work in Canada. If your CRS score falls short of the cutoff, consider working in Canada temporarily first. You'll need a job offer to qualify for a work permit, but even 1 year of Canadian work experience can add 40 points to your CRS score when you're ready to apply for PR. Plus, you can get skill transferability points if you're also fluent in English or French and have foreign work experience. 9. Gather more education credentials in your home country. Instead of coming to Canada to study, you can improve your CRS score by pursuing additional education in your home country. If you already have an undergraduate degree, completing a master's degree can add 15 points to your CRS score. However, before exploring this option, make sure you won't end up gaining education points at the expense of age points. 10. Maximize the points you can get for foreign work experience. If you recently joined the workforce in your home country, you may want to consider postponing your immigration application until you have 3 years of foreign work experience. It's important to note that foreign experience is a skill transferability factor, and you only get points for it if you also have good language test scores, CLB 7 and above, or Canadian work experience. Bear in mind that if you're 30 years or older, you will lose age points every year that you delay your application. These are some tips that you can consider to increase your CRS score. Please check IRCC website for more information.